me see the draft. I was looking at the other ones. Actually, I was just kind of seeing why everything is always so delayed with PGL, right? If you're looking at the the timings, like why do you need 3+ hours for each series and to be late, right?
Yeah, I have no idea too.
Hang on, let me just rewind this. Let me just see this. Hang on. So game 1, Galaxy Racer Omega, that was more than an hour. Okay, so that one makes sense. But then the other one is like 30 minutes. And then the last game, game 3, was 37 minutes as well. So like I feel like you're given too many breaks, and your casters are, I mean, you're trying to give them a breather. I understand that. But let's be honest, casters are a dime a dozen. Nobody cares about casters. Right?
Will you regret of your statement one day?
Yeah, it's not like are you gonna clip that? Are you gonna send that to Valve? Are you gonna send that with your Dota Plus one?
Kidding. Yeah, I do think it feels very long. The whole day feels very long.
Yeah, it really does. Okay, so we're into the game now. Are you in?
I guess. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's quite hard to fit in 3 BO3s in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 2 BO3s is like the perfect one for everyone. 3 BO3s are a little bit too much, I think.
But I don't think they have a choice on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because you have 2 divisions. You got like what, 16 teams or whatever. Like you have to get the games in, or else it could take more than a month to do all these games.
Yeah, definitely. That's why maybe they have to get more casters to do this.
Boom. You would think.
Problem solved.
You would think. Huh. We're solving the PGL's problems one problem at a time. Nonetheless, you gotta pause to start this off. I mean, okay, I'm sure the game is like 37 minutes, but you have like DCs, because like in SCA, it's kind of like unreliable. You're gonna get, disconnections, right? Yeah, as the entire Boom team right now is struggling right now.
Maybe they need a smoke break as well, because I know a lot of the Indon players they have smoking habits. Because back then when we scream against Indo teams, after game 1 they will always ask for a smoke break, like a cigarette break. Yeah.
So shouldn't you be using your draft time to just be smoking?
I mean, unless you want to smoke in the gaming room, which I don't think they want to. Otherwise, I think you always that would be so disturbing if someone in there actually do not smoke.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming. I mean, you're making assumptions that everyone from the Indo teams is smoking.
I'm just saying most of them that I've experienced.
No. To be honest, I've seen a surprising number, and it's so funny because like the players are very young, right? Especially from let's not talk about age, but they're younger than I am, and I feel like the majority of them are smokers.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Dota is a stress game, man. Sometimes you just have to. You just find one thing to release your stress. And working out for Dota player, that took too long, man. Too much time wasted to grind MMR. So, play one game, cigarette break for 3 minutes, and come back for another game. Feels just rubber, right?
Yeah, and to be honest, I've played like when I used to play with like a stack, we would always have guys that would just smoke, so we'd always have to wait for them. And we'd be like, let's just queue up, let's get ready, and the guy's like, no, smoke break, 7 minutes. And it was always 7 minutes, if anything.
Really?
Yeah, it was always 7 minutes. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. At least there's some consistency, but at no point we are promoting smoking, right?
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. We're only promoting Dota Plus.
I know. Maybe occasionally some OnlyFans, Howler OnlyFans.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, they disconnected again. But okay, did you see the chat in the initial one? They were like praising Mikonto for just.
Mikonto. Yeah. I mean, Mikoto is just a beast, man, right now.
Yeah, he is.
He has always been the. I think before this, everyone just look at Dreamcell and says that okay, Dreamcell is carrying Boom, blah blah blah. But I think last year as One Esports Select, it's really where Mikoto starts to shine And then right now and then Boom also decided to let go of Dreamercell. Don't know what happened there. Maybe they kicked him. Maybe Dreamercell left on his own. But now it's really Mikoto being the one leading Boom forward. So yeah, I feel like this kid has a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, he's just completely impressed me, right? And I mean, even in this game, he's back on his bronze tier puck. Just be like, I heard what Arthur said about me, and I'm just gonna just throw it back in his face.
I'm just gonna prove him wrong twice in a row.
First time you're gonna call it a fluke, and the second time he's like, all right, I'm just gonna make him look bad at this point.
Yeah, he's trying to make me look bad.
All right, but Jackie back on the Wraith King, and then Drew PL. What do you feel about this?
I feel like it's gonna be a hard PL game though, because when I look at the last pick of T1's draft, it was the Dragon Knight. It just perfectly sums up everything. It was the catch for a puck. It's also the unkillable target for PL as well. And T1 they're running 3 strength cores, which of course PL finds a lot of trouble dealing with in the mid game. Because you can burn all their mana, yes, but you won't have the enough damage to kill them. Oh, the arrow did not quite connect.
Zephyr, you had one job, and that was your arrow, not able to connect. I mean, it's all for naught at this point. So now they completely disengage here, and like literally all 5 of Boom sticking together.
Teamwork makes the dream work, and they'll get 2 bounties. Drew will have to walk all the way back to the bottom side though. I don't think he wants to TP. Maybe they are trying to bait out, trying to do some lane swap, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, no. No, if it's not broke, like let Mikoto have his lane, right? Drew knows what he's doing. Okay, now he's like, okay, I got to get over there. I'm gonna TP. So he starts it off there. Whitemon with a nice little body block, just kind of start the laning phase off to a good place. But Coddle as a position 4, what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like Kado is like this hero is stronger as he gets more item. So like the earlier you get your agonims, the earlier you get your shard, the better it is for you to contribute into the team fight to your team. So I like the fact that Kodo is putting as a 4 here. I also think that it's more natural for Kodo to play at the top side, at the off lane, because of the geographical factors, because you have more places for you to do all the sneaky illuminate.
Yeah.
And also it's more nature for you to push the lanes out so that you can pull. So I like this coming up from height.
Oh, Coddle Blast does so much work. FBZ is a little low, doesn't need to be careful, but Whitemon is looking to trade here, and they look to turn this off. The Wraithfire Blast does connect, and actually he backs off, realizing he can't do much. He does have the orb, and he does get first blood. Whitemon will actually secure that kill. He actually walked away realizing he had just enough damage.
Very cool play coming here from Whitemon. Like you say, real men don't look at their explosive. And this is a strong point of the Wraith King plus Disruptor. This is something that T1 has won in the game 1, so they're definitely feeling super comfortable going to this game. They know that they'll have a strong lane and they'll have the strong late game as well.
Ooh, FBZ goes in, he swashbuckles, he gets the blast as well. Whitemon getting solo, Jackie needs to help him out, and he steps forward like a good carry. Wow, he actually is looking to help his support. Man, why don't, I don't ever get players like this in my pubs.
That's why I told you have to be the carry.
Okay, well,
if you don't have anyone to protect you, then you be the one protecting others.
Well, I don't want to protect other people. Maybe I'm sick of this support life. Oh, Whitemon getting a little low, trading shots here. Jackie just kind of scurrying away. FBZ here. FBZ's so low, he does need to be careful.
Imagine him dying to the small. That would be so funny, but alright, nice. South coming up from height from the Kodo post 4. Oh, the thing about this is that Boom, if you look at the heroes, they're so squishy. Lich, Puck, Kodo.
Yeah, they're all squishy, and to be honest, PL, he's kind of squishy to start. Like, he's not the tankiest of guys. I mean, obviously he gets like Super Saiyan mode at some point, but I mean, he has a long way to go before he gets there. So like, I feel like PL is a little underwhelming this patch.
Yeah, I do feel so too. I feel like PL. This hero takes a long time to come online, and when you're about to come online, everyone knows how to deal with the PL now. Like Crimson Guard are the go-to items, are just really good. And people are starting to get better in in playing the juke game against PL as well, they always seem to know how is PL going to juke. So the trick is not so reliable on the PL at all. But interestingly, when I look up the stats today, PL has like a nearly 54% win rate in high
Oh, Zephyr, solo. He's gonna stick and try to bait out Kescute. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, it's just like a 54% win rate in high rank games. Oh, the Frost Shield to cancel out South coming out from Zephyr. It's a nice play coming out from Kescute. There's a South down, so Kescute will have a lot of advantage in this game.
Another blast. Zephyr getting a low. He's looking to just trade this nice little arrow, though. He leaps forward, Fairy Fire, and it looks like he miscalculated that. Did not expect the Fairy Fire, and Zephyr made him pay. 2-0.
What a madman is Zephyr. He's just playing at the edge, knowing exactly what's the limitation he can go, and how far he can go. So well played coming out from Zephyr, but I think Kescute has done his job too. He's just burning all the regens coming out from Mirana and also the Beastmaster. Not so much of Beastmaster, I guess. So he's like the bottom lane is becoming a 1 versus 1 lane where PL is versus Beastmaster, and then the Mirana and the Lich are just duking out each other. In this case, I think Beastmaster is the one holding the advantage, because the more farm Beastmaster get, the faster you get to Necro Tree, the better it is for his team.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's the case, but then you have a Lich who's actually pretty good laner. So I feel like he's kind of contributing quite a lot here. As PL Drew is 28-4. That's a pretty good start, and it's not even 5 minutes into the game.
Yeah, he's like having no pressure right now. Both Beastmaster and PL are actually having no pressure, so they're just trade farming. And obviously, I think PL is gonna have the edge towards farming better. Carl is just constantly using Dragon Tail to stop Mikoto from getting the last hits. I think Carl he's gonna be the non-factor this game. If he can get those very important jump on Mikoto with Dragon Tail and take down him first, that's gonna be the biggest team fight factor out of the pool for Boom. So taking down Puck is the top priority.
It's gonna be. I mean, he doesn't have that burst. He's more of like the survivability. I mean, yeah, he has a potential, and Puck is very squishy as is. But that Dragon Tail initiation, just stunning him, just so that everybody else can kind of gang up on him, it's going to be very important. Hyde goes down again. Not a great start for him in this game.
Yeah, not a great start. If you are playing a Kodo, you always want to play ahead. You always want to be pushing Drew.
Drew backing up here, and it looks like T1 have kind of doing quite well in the laning phase. Mikoto not even off to that hot start that he got in the last game. And so, I mean, Jackie and Carl, both of these guys, top 2 in terms of the net worth.
I'm surprised that Carl is actually getting so much ahead of Puck. He's 600 gold in ahead of Puck. I guess that's because he has been playing super aggressive. As you can see, he's always using Dragon Tail to do as much cheap harassment to the Mikoto, and making sure that Mikoto has to spend some gold on regen. And as a DK, you can always rely on your passive to heal you up. So very good regen trade game coming out from Carl there.
Jackie here just realizing the potential burst that they could have here from both FBZ and Hyde, Cuddle Blast, and the Swashbuckle. He actually went Reincarnation level 6, not something that you see every time.
Yeah, I think he's respecting the potential burst coming out from Pangolier.
Oh, the arrow actually connected on Kescute, but there's no follow-up. The stun is just too little in terms of timing. The boar here just kind of running back, getting beat up here by Drew. Oh, Dragon Form Carl. They got the Dragon Tail on Mikoto as well. He's going to phase shift away. He should be fine, but Carl is probably going to look to just chip away at the tower, especially with that Siege Catapult, but he's actually not taking it properly as it goes down from the tower.
That was a crucial mistake. I think this is one small tip that not a lot of people know, is that when you have a Catapult, there's this small little bug that when, even though your Catapult is not hitting the tower, but if your hero get into the tower hit range and the tower hits you, the Catapult will just instantly walk into the tower range and get hit by the tower. Yeah. So that's like one little trick that a lot of us should be aware.
Rolling Thunder. Oh, it does end up finally connecting onto Zephyr, and he swashbuckles in and destroys Mirana there. Carl still with the Dragon Form, still alive, looking for that lucky rune. He just walked by, and it looks like he's went the wrong way as Mikoto bottles the illusion.
Really early rotation coming out from FBZ as well. Because T1 they are not putting any pressure onto the bottom tower, so basically FPZ TP bottom just for the one Mirana kill, which I don't know if that's the best decision there, but I think they want to get rid of this PL facing on Beastmaster, because once Beastmaster get to level 6, he will have a lot more killing potential on the PL. So maybe ditching the lane as early as possible is a good one for Drew.
Yeah, and they need to create a little bit more space. They need to go elsewhere, but Makoto and FBZ are in the lane here, and sensing something, it looks like Cuckoo's gonna back away. Hyde, on the other hand, is only level 4. Does need to be careful. If he gets stun locked here, glimpse back. That's not a good start. Wraith Fire Blast. He's out of the kinetic field though, but he does go down in the end. Jackie just cleaning him up.
Very tough start for Hyde here as the Kodo. But good thing for Kodo is that it doesn't matter how many times you feed, as long as you have the tower, you have your level, you still kind of do the same thing with your chakra, with your illuminate to push out lanes. So I'm not so worried about Hyde, but giving so much kills away to Wraith King though,
that's a problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. And you can see Wraith King is itemizing himself straight into the Radiance. So he'll be skipping the Midas because he knows that how important Radiance is. If you get a really early Radiance, you can just start running over the PL so much easier and faster.
And I don't know, like I just kind of feel like Cuddle is very underwhelming this patch. Even the last patch, I don't even think he was that good. Is it just me?
I think it's just that all the games you have been watching,
yeah,
the teams are not utilizing the Kodo as much and as well. Like Kodo is a hero that really enables his team, but when his team is falling behind, when you have no one to enable, it feels like a very tough game.
All right, so Dragon Form is going to be committed. They really want this tower. They brought Jackie, but Whiteman is getting run up on by Drew. The Illusion's doing a decent amount of work, but he actually dodges away. He's level 6 now. He's fine. And then they do get the blast on FBZ, so they got something. The Dream Coil is going to be used on Cuckoo. He's been a little too deep. He's probably going to die for this, but they got the tower, and that's pretty much all you need is they back away and they TP on out.
That's such a painful buyback camera from FBZ. He literally bought back for nothing, just to farm. Yeah, that's gonna hurt him a lot. And Cool knows that as well. That's why the instant tip coming out from Cool. But good thing is PL, he's approaching his early diffuser very soon. He's got 2 Blade of Alacrity completed already, so diffuser blade is like halfway. And I like the movement coming out from T1 too. They are just putting 3 cores onto one lane to take down the early towers, so that you always want to have Wraith King at the bottom lane, because he is the one that can really utilize the lane and then push out with skeletons, and then he meanwhile can just freely farm the NC.
All right, Cuckoo on the other hand still trying to has Necro 1, still a little bit behind in that sense. Hasn't really been able to push other aside from getting some help from his teammates and dealing with the bottom T1, but I prefer Cuckoo and like Beastmaster players to just consistently push in the lane and not really look to jungle and just take away from the other cores.
Yeah, this is the awkward thing about Beastmaster and a core that can really utilize the enemy safe lane, because normally where Jackie is playing now should be where Beastmaster is playing now.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you have all the advantage from a Hawk, right? So it's very safe for him to do all these things, but Wraith King is also just another hero that can really utilize that. So in this case, Beastmaster will be able to demote to the jungle and go for the not so optimal play.
Oh.
And Jackie though, he's in deep trouble now.
Yeah, he's all by himself. They have 4. They even recalled somebody, and they've got the Dream Coil. They've committed onto Jackie, and that's going to be the first death at least. His team is coming. They've used Moonlight, so they're going to cover his retreat, but it looks like they're going to turn this around. They've killed Kezcute to kind of start this off. They got this nice static storm, and FBZ's locked into that one. Carl, FBZ, he swashbuckles away, or he somehow got out of that, but nonetheless, it's a double kill for Jackie, and they've turned this around. They thought they had him trapped in, but the reincarnation was on point. Moonlight as well, and it looks like they've turned this around.
Not the best target going on Jackie at all. Like this is why Wraith King is just such a good hero to play at that area, because if you don't punish him, you're gonna lose your part of the map forever. If you punish him, this is what's gonna happen. You cannot kill him twice and you will die. So whenever Boom wants to make a move, they have to make sure that they bring over the PL with the diffuser blade, so so that
Yeah.
they can instantly take down Wraith King and make sure that there's no reincarnation.
I mean, that was a pretty big commitment, and you know they got 0 out of that, so that was a pretty disastrous fight for Boom here. And it seems to be like this is, you know, my issue with this lineup going in is that the draft is very wonky. It's not one of the easiest ones. You mentioned the fact that everyone's kind of squishy. I mean, that's like the only synergy they had. They were like, okay, let's all pick the squishiest heroes we can think of, and so they've done that. But in terms of an actual team fight, they've kind of struggled in this department.
Yeah, definitely. I don't see how, like, I don't see what's the timing Boom is waiting for at this point, because PL is a very awkward hero. He wants to farm as much as possible, but Lich, Pango, Quarter, they kind of want to go now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the longer the game goes, the weaker these heroes are gonna be, because they are relying so much on the magical damage. And once the BKBs are up on T1 side, they actually don't do anything in the team fight.
Yes.
So by the time it goes, Boom are just losing a lot of opportunities here.
Yeah, they don't really have much time, and I mean, this is awesome for Jackie, right? In the sense that, like, we're winning, we've got so much space. Dreamcoil is going to be committed onto Whiteman, who's just literally just trying to ward. He's actually going to commit the Static Storm, but he's stuck in the Dreamcoil for a long period of time, so he does die in the end, though, but it's just the position 5. And it looks like they've lost a little bit of space, but Carl is back here. He does have the Invis, and he goes to the Dragon Tail right onto Kescute. Combos with an arrow. Moonlight is going to be used. I almost call that Moonlight Sonata, but I guess they'll play that song as they make their retreat here.
Yeah, good quick kill coming out from T1, but they lost that. I mean, it's a 5 for 5. At this case, it doesn't really matter, but what really matters is Boom. They're able to reclaim their jungle back for a little bit, but if you look at the minimap, look how much Observer Ward like Whitemore has been able to put down, because thanks to the mech control coming out from Jackie. So they are like every single move coming out from Boom, they are all exposed under T1's Observer Ward. So they're going to be very careful, especially now that DK has a Ding Dagger. They're so exposed to all these catch coming out from T1.
And also, if you're looking at itemization, it's been really different. Makoto, on the other hand, like, you know, he had to go BOT first. He's going to go Blink next. I mean, this is very different from the offensive powerhouse that he was in the last game, where he was just completely controlling the game. Why did he go a different route in terms of the items?
Well, first of all, I think like it's hard for him to go for DPS build because of how tanky T1's cores are. And another thing is you need to buy time for the PL. And one of the ways to buy time is to have the global presence on the map, so that you keep pushing in waves, forcing T1 to react to your crit wave pushes, and that's how you can buy time.
Okay.
But my problem is buying time really the solution for them though? Because if you look at Mirana, he's itemizing for the Crimson Guard. As I said, teams are getting better at dealing with illusions now.
Yeah.
So the longer the game goes, the more solutions T1 will find for the PL. And I'm not liking that they are playing so passively right now on Boom.
Exactly. Yeah, and you talked about the fact that, you know, Drew was going to go Diffusal. He actually already has Diffusal, and he's looking for his next item. He's Yasha as well, but like these are mid-tier items, and they're pretty big peaks. But he's not actually taking advantage of that. He's not actually fighting. He's continuing to farm. As I say that, it looks like he's making his way to the mid lane. Dreamcoil onto Whiteman. They've got the silence as well, so Whiteman will probably die here. The Static Storm is going to be committed. FBZ just rolls into that. He don't care. And he's in that. Whiteman goes down, but Jackie gets swashbuckled, and he gets disarmed here. But that's pretty much all they got was just the position 5.
Yeah, 2 ultimates for position 5, and they weren't able to translate this in the tower push. So it feels very bad for Boom actually. That's the thing. That's, you know, like you were saying the pulse spike that PL was having, and why is he not using it? I think that's the beauty of the Radiance Rush coming out from Red Jackie. Because by the time Drew feels like he wants to fight, he clicked on the Wraith King. Oh man, this guy is keeping he's keeping Midas and went for Radiant Shade. So instantly, PL does not feel so great going into the fight, even with the early Diffuser Blade pickup.
Okay, but the next big item, I mean, he's already got his Sanj. He wants to get Heaven's Halberd next. Is that the right item, especially against the PL?
I think it's the completely the same item build as what he get in game 1, right? To counter the troll. It's just full evasion lineup. Full evasion build. So I'm actually okay with him, given that troll does not he doesn't ever want to buy BKB. He doesn't want to buy items like that doesn't give any stats at all.
Yeah.
Because they don't boost the illusions. So having this, going for this route, I actually like it a lot. And also DK, you can see that after BKB, he's queuing up for a Maelstrom. So they are gonna be a lot of answers for the PL, knowing that PL is a sole winning condition coming out from Boom, because you know that this Mikoto is not going for the damage type, so he's not gonna do too much damage. So everything is coming from PL, and it's making this makes T1 so easy to itemize against.
But, like, it's a completely, like, you had a winning strategy last game, right? With Boom Esports. They had Mikoto just kind of completely controlling the game. And I understand that, like, yeah, Wraith King and, like, you know, the potential here is, like, the Dragon Knight are kind of a different, you know, enemy that you need to kind of account for. But, like, I feel like you're putting too much pressure onto Drew. As I say that FPZ here gets arrowed, he's definitely dead with a lot of ults being committed just for this guy. And T1 are moving their way, and it looks like they're going to probably make their way into Roche here. But they do need to be careful, especially since Hyde has buyback.
Yeah, I feel like FPZ are quite mentally done after the buyback, and didn't get anything at the bottom side, especially after after T1 just constantly BM keep him. It feels like it can be some sort of play where it can definitely affect the mental of the player. As you can see, FPZ is falling right now. He's not scaling at all. Beastmaster was very much behind him just now, and he has to really take it over by quite a good amount of margin. And this will lead T1 into a free Roshan, and it seems like Jackie will be the one picking it up.
Yeah, they've had a bit of a rough game, I would say. It's just they haven't been able to get anything going. Boom Esports, that is. It seems like every sort of assault that they've gone on, T1 has had the answer in terms of just reflecting or deflecting any sort of, you know, assault, so to speak. But they've just been on point with how they're doing it. But, okay, we know what they haven't done well. But Boom Esports, like, Drew, once you get your, you know, what is the next item? I mean, he's got S and Y, he's got Diffusal, like, you don't fight till you get Heart? Is that when you feel comfortable?
The thing is, I don't know if Hyde though, he's gonna get the roll.
Yeah,
right? He's gonna
they
die.
had to commit that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Heart is really the answers here, because I don't know if staying alive is what you want to do. I feel like you have to get some damage item to actually kill the heroes on tier 1. Because staying alive, tier 1 will do much better than you in that department. So, I feel like items like Basher, even Silver Edge at one point could even come into consideration.
And another thing is that, like, Boom, okay, if Drew is not going to get all the damage, and it looks like he's going to go Heart next, then who's going to provide the damage? Because you've already committed Puck into, like, this more, you know, split pushing, BOT, blink, like, initiating type, and he doesn't have the damage that he previously had, at least from the last game. Pango is more of like a controller, Coddle, you know, Lich, they don't really have that damage, so to speak.
Yeah, I completely agree. Someone has to itemize themselves to go for the damage run. I mean, Pangolier can actually roleplay that role, but he has, like, FPZ has no game at all at this point. You have to become the, you know, just the utility man of his team, carrying all the aura items. He has the Spirit Wrestle, which is kind of good against T1 Zero, but BKBs are up already.
Yeah.
And Beastmaster doesn't really care if you put a Spirit Wrestle on him, as long as he used the draw, his job is done.
Carl goes in. The arrow is going to actually just barely miss. Zephyr's a little off the mark. Dream Coil is going to be used. Drew's got Disillusion. He's going to try to focus on Zephyr, at least take away some of that mana, but that Crimson is doing some work. Roar on FBZ, and that does lock him down. The Chain Frost is bouncing a decent amount. FBZ does go down. Frost Armor will not save him. They're going to go back, and it looks like Cuckoo is going to just back off as well. They're going to just, like, regroup, deal with these Necros, and then just maybe go back in. Jackie, on the other hand, is going to deal with the Ancients.
Yeah, T1, they are just understanding that the fact that Boom, they are lacking of physical damage to bring them down. That's why they are playing so aggressive. And even though they are getting two-man coiled under the tower, they are not afraid as well. Oh, Carl almost get a stun off on the Puck. But this doesn't stop. This will not stop. Carl just popped his Dragon Form. It seems like they want to go for more. They don't want to give any breathing room for PL. Or maybe they want to.
Well,
they're just gonna coil it back.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, like Boom, they're trying to play to their strengths in the sense of just, we can't really team fight these guys, even with Hyde down for, like, oh, he's back now, but he wasn't there for then, and they're looking to just split push, just create a little bit of space, give themselves some breathing room. If anything, they just need to buy time for Drew. This is the only, he's pretty much your only chance of getting back in this game.
Yeah, pretty much that. I've seen this story a lot though. Like just yesterday, if you caught the Nigma versus Secret Game, it was the same as well. Miracle PL against the Word, and PL just doesn't seem to be the core that can lift up the Word at all anymore. It's not the PL that we see, 2 years back that can just solo carry the entire game. Now everyone's getting better. Everyone knows how to itemize against this hero, how to catch this hero, how to play the map better in terms of choking. So T1 definitely looking very comfortable here. And when DK gets the Maelstrom, things are gonna get even better.
Oh, Carl just walked behind Gandalf. He had no idea that was going to happen. He just gets Dragon Tailed, he gets stun locked, Hyde goes down. And I mean, that was a pretty nice uses of Moonlight, making sure they get tremendous value out of this. And it looks like they're going to look for more as they make their way forward. They got the Dreamcoil on Zephyr. They've got the Rolling Thunder. It's going to do a little bit of work. The Crimson is just kind of mitigating some of the right-click damage. But here comes a TP. It's a little too late. The Outpost one being 6 seconds, and it looks like they blink away and just TP on out. Oh, the Dragon Tail. They found Drew. That's not where you want to be. He's going to doppelgame, try to use his illusions to kind of keep himself alive. Makoto's going to just continue to split push. He's still in the top lane. Carl goes into Dragon form. Jackie's just like, okay, I'm just going to do this illusion. He completely chooses the wrong one. Carl, on the other hand, he's been vesseled. He's going to just back off here. And Makoto is back in the action with that nice little orb there. Carl's at half-life.
Yeah, I was just saying that how you can, like, everyone is so good in seeing the trick of the double ganker anymore. Like, that Cool was completely right at the instinct where, like, wish PL was the real one, but he just couldn't get the range to raw. And speaking about itemization, PL went for the hard instead. He wants to go for the safe route. Definitely feels very natural, Heart of Terras for PL is just so nature, but I still don't think it's the right item here.
Oh, Carl's been silenced, and the Diffusal's doing some work. He actually has no mana. He's going to commit the BKB just to keep himself alive for now, and he just backs off here, but that's I think it was a 10-second charge? Hang on, let me just check. It was a 9-second charge, so a pretty big one.
But yeah, but that also means that Boom, they have to expend some of the ultis though.
Oh, they've got the Dream Coil. They found Carl. He thought he was safe, so he just stuck around, but he got blasted in the face by Hyde and his Coddle Blast doing some work there. Finally, Boom has a little bit of breathing room. I mean, yes, they're down 10k, but this is the time to start chipping away at those towers.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Alright, let's see if they have the... Let's see if they want to man up and take this tower down. Seems like they're not. They're gonna TP back to the mid. They have 2 lanes to fix. And good job by T1 to constantly be pushing out the lanes. Seems like Wraith, he himself is going for the Maelstrom as well. So they're just fully itemizing to deal with this one single core coming out from Boom Esports. Maybe Puck could be an X factor here. I wonder if Puck will want to change his item build at one point. Because he's going for he's still going for the full magic build with the Lincolns. But I guess at one point he could start fitting in the Daedalus, at least level 25, get to the Dreamcoil talent. Maybe he can be the one X factor so that PL doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting.
True. But okay, the heart, like the item has changed, right? It's not the out of combat passive regen that you previously got, and now it's just like a 1.6 percentage. And yes, it's boosted with like S and Y, and that's kind of why he's comboing those together. But is it still the right item to go, especially this day and age?
I think right now a lot of people are looking at Heart as a sieging item because your HP regen wouldn't stop even though you get hit.
Yeah.
So it's very suitable for you to keep standing on high ground, for you to siege high ground and ignores all the harassment. But if you're talking about just boosting team fight ability for you to kill people, definitely not the item.
Okay, and that's worrying because he's like the damage dealer, and yet he's going like these survivability items, and he's going with like this. It's not I don't know if it's the right build.
Yeah, I'll say I'll like Avskadi a lot more. Like it does the same thing for you. It boosts your stats, but it also takes down the HP regen of all these tanky cores. You are playing against 3 HP, 3 strength cores.
Yeah, Makoto's got Carl though. He's got the silence, waning rift or whatever. Just doing a little work. Oh, static storm is gonna be committed, and Hyde is gonna die in his own. Or he gets silenced. He can't do much. The orb is just gonna push him away. But Makoto is just running for his life right now.
Alright, he's going for Skadi now, so hard Skadi feels about right.
Okay. Okay.
Honestly, I would like a Skadi Abyssal or Skadi Butterfly, but since he's going for this,
Oh, Makoto does need to be careful. He knew the arrow was coming. He blinks away. He's fine for now, and I think they've given up the search for him.
yeah, all things considered, I think Boom they're actually doing an okay job in buying themselves the breeding room, because PR are getting the farm. Punk is also actually getting the farm. He's playing the split push game very well with the Lincolns. Cool, can you get the raw?
He's looking for him. I mean, he knows the arrow's just gonna be just shot blind. Oh, but the recall was on point. It's just not enough time, and no one really expects that. So he's got the illusions, and I'm sure that's gonna waste even more time from T1.
Not sure why T1 is not running down towers and pushing right now. I think they are too distracted by the constant split push coming up from Puck. I think this is where you want to buy a boost of travel on one of your cores so that you can always be the one facing lane and then instantly join to the team. Carl, he fixed the lane at bottom, instantly TP back to the outpost and join his team for a smoke. They don't have any vision on the high ground, though. This is smoke on smoke action.
This is smoke on smoke action. You talked about it, all Dota players being smokers, and here we go. We've got it, and you've proved it. And it looks like they're going to start, but Drew's going to just kind of go. The Chain Frost is doing a decent amount of work, but there's BKB, so it's mitigating most of that damage. They've got the pipe as well. They've got the Necro army, and they're just kind of making their way to the mid lane. Makoto goes deep. Drew's looking to just fight this one, but he's kind of stuck by himself. The Static Storm is doing a little bit of work. He's kind of locked in. They've got the Sinister Gaze pulling in Jackie, but that's not the one you want. Drew goes down, and that's all of your damage. Kezcute is next on this list, and they fall like dominoes here. Makoto's by himself. He phases away. He actually is going to be searched for. At least he's going to phase. He should be okay. He's very elusive. He does get away, but losing Drew and Kezcute is a bit of an issue right now.
It doesn't. Honestly, it didn't even look like a fight, because it was just. It just looked like T1. They are just manning down the PR. Like, I just don't see how PR does any damage against these 3 super tanky cores. And these 3 cores, they want you to hit at him. They want you to run into the Radiance, they want you to run into Monlayer. I don't know how PR is going to run into teamfight and then kill people off. I feel like the only situation where PR can thrive here is to really take those really long team fights where you just spam illusions to burn out all the mana of these 3 cores and then slowly chip them down.
They're just too tough. They're too tough. There's no real way. I mean, we talked about like having long sustaining fights, but like, you know, Boom, they don't have the heroes to kind of survive in these long fights and to keep Drew, like give Drew a chance. I mean, even their supports aren't really like the saving type. So even like, yeah, you have recall on that one time on Drew, but like aside from that, like that was kind of like a lucky one and more than anything else.
That is definitely not reliable by any means.
Yeah.
I feel like everything goes back to tower defense now. Like high ground defense is where you can really utilize the power of the illusions, so that you want T1 to come to high ground, and then you can spam your double canker to send out illusions to burn down the mana of the enemy. I feel like that's the better start you can get for you to initiate a team fight. You don't really want to just run straight, like to go ham onto the heroes of T1. That's just not gonna work.
Yeah. I'm just kind of feeling like Boom, this is a pretty big draft issue more than anything else. Like, I just don't see the potential of it. Like, there were too many weaknesses even going in. When we saw this on paper, we're just like, man, everybody's just so squishy. Like, you pick the squishiest hero. No. You pick the squishiest hero. And then they just have this, like literally, like, they've Gandalf and, like, Lich. Like, this is it? Really?
Yeah, I was kind of stunned when I look at the Gandalf plus Lich, because you know, by looking at them, you know the weakness of Boom already. Like if we know this, not to mention T1, they have perfect knowledge on how to counter this lack of skilling and also damage coming out from these 2 supports, and they're so squishy as well. So all you have to do, pick a bunch of tanky heroes. That's all.
Yeah. So, like, okay, if you saw T1's lineup, how would you, like, what heroes would you have drafted instead of?
Like, I feel like the Lich pick really locked the draft into a really bad position or awkward situation where because they open with the Pango plus Kodo, which is pretty solid, and then they doubled down it and then the third pick, a Lich, which I think is a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Because when you are looking at your first two pick, you need to know what is your weakness and what are the holes in your draft that you have to fill out with. So you don't need to go for another squishy hero because Cordo is the one. It should be the only one in the back line.
Yeah.
You need some more heroes that can stand in front of the Cordo or make use of Cordo's chakra magic. So the Lich pick was really the one that ruined the whole game, I feel.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just, there's no real synergy. I don't know what they were trying to kind of do with this. I mean, you have like the Dream Coil, you know, the Wisp, maybe Chain Frost combination, but that just seems like a lot of work for potentially no play when they just BKB.
Yeah. I think mainly the reason for Lich is just because they saw the Beastmaster pick and then they responded with Lich. So they really just want to go for a better lane, and they did have it. They did have the good lane. At what cost though? At the cost of your really weak mid game, late game.
Right. Oh, but Jackie getting so low, they're not going to actually commit anything in terms of like Aegis or Reincarnation. They're just going to wait for the next creep wave, let Wraith King just heal up a little bit before they go back into this. But, I mean, the lanes are pushing. Everything is kind of just working out for T1 right now.
It's really up to T1 on how to close the game out. Because I think they can just they can constantly put Cowl on the dragon form and then slowly chip the damage on the tier 3 towers. And once they are down, they can take the fight so much easier.
Yeah.
They're making a big smoke though from Broom. This is gonna be really scary. As you said, Drew, he cannot run into T1.
Yeah, he's gonna. I mean, and they've countered in point with they've used Moonlight themselves, so they'll know something is up.
They're so far away from their base.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, our base is under attack. Okay, maybe we shouldn't be smoked all the way out here. Okay, so they're gonna go back in. Pipe is gonna mitigate most of this damage. Jackie's still up front. Sinister Gaze gets in a worse position, but he's been silenced. He gets thrown back by the Rolling Thunder. They've got the Frostbite. The Roar is gonna be committed, but only onto FBZ. That's not really the greatest. Jackie's getting a little bit low. He's been glimmered. He should be okay. He actually walks away, or he limps away, excuse me, but he's fine.
He's still fine. Like Boom expanded a lot of spells though, mostly Rolling Thunder, so it means that once Jackie is back from life stealing from the creeps, he should be able to go for another push. Gage's got reclaim, but that seemed to be a very good pushing opportunity for T1 because they had the double catapult.
Oh, but the fake back, they actually go right back in and they destroy FBZ. He did not expect that. The Static Storm is there. It's a little bit of zoning, but they're just going to focus on the Raxes now, and it looks like it's going to be bad. Makoto goes in trying to slow this down, a little bit of silence that is, but it really doesn't do much damage, which is, like Carl, Jackie, Ku, like these guys are so tanky. This is so difficult for Boom to deal with.
Beastmaster even got a casual arcane boot so that he can increase the knowledge for his teammates to counter the kind of counter the PL.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just fully itemizing everything for the PL illusions right now. The Dragon Knight has the cheese. He's still holding on to the cheese. His Dragon Form is running out too.
That's the only thing that can slow this game down, is the fact that Dragon Form is going to be expiring there, and it looks like they're going to back off here. I mean, this is you're probably watching and you're like, oh, this is so boring. Why are they doing this? And as I say that, they go be very aggressive. This is without Aegis or Cheese or any. I mean, they do have Cheese, but no Dragon Form.
I think T1 can chill for a little bit because it feels like no matter how many items some PL get at this point, he won't be able to outcarry the 3 strength cores. So I think they are fine for chilling for a little bit here. And also, if PL wants to complete the Piscadi, it means that he will have no buyback, and that is a do or die situation for Boom Esports.
Yeah.
Because no matter what PL, he will have to commit his position to do damage. And if he don't, he might as well don't buy the Piscadi. So Drew's game is so hard right now.
It is not easy. And again, more reason why I did not like Makoto going for this, the split pushing style. Because you need somebody to support it. Like Drew, you can't put all of the pressure for him to do all of the damage, because if they focus on him and they burn him down, you got nothing left, right? If you had Makoto, you have more than just, Drew's potential damage that you need to make the plays too, kind of carry the game like you did in the last one. Obviously not the easiest thing, especially with T1's heroes.
Oh, definitely. And that being said, PL just bought out. he completed his Auscadi. Those would means that he has no buyback. Carl overwhelming blink coming out from him. That would actually do a ton of AoE magical damage. I think one blink would do like 600 damage at this point.
That's actually pretty sick. Yeah. He could potentially just destroy people. I mean, he's got his dragon form. He's so tanky already. And even the frost armor is just... Yeah, he's not able to do much right here. And yeah, they've got pipe. Like I love their itemization of T1. And just the way that their positioning is perfect. Just in that like pentagon, it's just so difficult for them to get like that perfect dream coil. Makoto's not able to do anything, and here we go. He's gonna start static storm, but they caught Makoto, which is a nice start to this. FBZ's been locked in, and they actually destroy Makoto. No buyback. He goes down. Kezku goes down, and it looks like Hyde goes down as well. Buybacks are coming, and FBZ's gonna swashbuckle away, but Drew's still continuing to fight. He really wants Zephyr, if anything, and it looks like he's doing a decent amount of work, but he's kind of by himself. So this is not the greatest position, and it looks like he's gonna back off now, realizing that he's just by himself.
He's even struggling. He's even struggling to kill the Mirana. Like Mirana has so much aura items, Crimson Guard, Guardian Greaves, even the Casual Cloak as well. Also the Titan Slaver.
Titan Slave.
Wait, isn't that called Titan Silver?
It is. But yeah, Titan Sliver. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, they found Ku. They got him with the Moonlight. He's gonna look to just TP away. I don't think they have the damage. Oh, they have the Yules. That was on point. Oh, he blinks away, but he blinks to the low ground. He actually messed up, and Goku dies there. Doesn't really matter too much, but nonetheless, funny stuff.
Yeah, that's the flicker. Did not go his way. But I want to talk about this Disruptor shot. Oh wait, Drew.
Oh, Drew. He's by himself. That Crimson is doing some work. He's by himself though. He does need to get his buddies. Carl is still there. He's got to watch out for the Mjolnir and the BKB, and the Chain Frost is going to be used, but they just Delta split, and not an issue here. They actually blink forward. They got Drew. Nice arrow combination with the Dragon Tail. Drew's in a bad spot, and it looks like he goes down. No buyback, as you said, as he bought out. 82 seconds. I think this is pretty much GG at this point.
Yeah, I think by the time T1 steps to the high ground and they notice that PR doesn't have buyback, they should know that he doesn't have one. I think this is GG.
Yeah, but
T1 may even just go for Throne. And I want to talk about this Disruptor shot too. I haven't seen this much, but it's such a great sieging item. It's like Solar Crest. Okay,
yeah.
FBZ just died and they call GG.
Yeah. I think
really good pick on the last pick DK. That was really brilliant.
It was super good. Everything that they did was just on point. Like, they were really here to play. T1, I was quite impressed with just how strong they were. They were, not phased by Boom, just getting any sort of edge in this. And this comes back to me in the sense of like the draft issue.
Yeah, I think that definitely I think this draft just makes everything hard. I don't think there's like much Boom Esports can do with this draft. There's just way too much disadvantage, and they threw all the eggs in the Phantom Lancer basket, but this hero just isn't like last time at all, especially when we are playing against three strength calls. I think T1 just outplayed Boom Esports in this game 3. So well deserved victory for T1.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. And the PL basket, we've seen it time and time again in the series. Like, teams are forcing it. They're putting literally their eggs in this basket, but there's a hole in that basket, and it's not holding up all the eggs right now. And it just like kind of filters through. They're just not doing as well as they should have. I think Boom Esports will learn a lot from this game, though, in this series, and just they'll definitely be better and stronger as this tournament goes on.
Yeah. All right.
Pretty
good game, pretty good series.
Yeah, good stuff, man. All right. And,
right.
yeah, I'll catch you next time.